What is up, gamers? Red Dragon here, and we are talking about Titanfall. So, I wanted to talk about something that I've been seeing a lot of, and usually in the comment section of videos dealing with Titanfall or articles on the game. And there's usually always a couple of people who will say, Titanfall is nothing but a Call of Duty clone with mechs. So I wanted to ask you, if you have played Titanfall, is it a Call of Duty clone with mechs? Because I haven't talked to anybody who felt that it was, who actually played the game. I know that I haven't walked away feeling like I've just got done playing a Call of Duty game. So I'm trying to figure this out, or where this exactly comes from, because I have to imagine that a lot of the people saying this are probably people who haven't downloaded anything yet and haven't tried the game for themselves. Because I can tell you, I've played a lot of Call of Duty, and I've played a lot of Titanfall, and they don't feel anything similar to one another. Now, they both have guns in them, yes, that's true, you're both running around. But I would compare it to if I went down to Six Flags over Georgia. They've got roller coasters, they've got water rides, they've got concessions, and all these little mini games that you can play at the booths. But you know what? So does Universal Studios, so does Walt Disney World, and Busch Gardens, and Dollywood. They all have the same style rides. They all have roller coasters and these types of games. Yet, you would call me an idiot if I told you that there's no sense for you to go see any of these other locations if you've already seen one, because you're just going to get the same bit out of it. The same thing goes for games. Just because a theme park has a roller coaster doesn't mean it's the same as the other theme park. Just because a game has a gun in it and it's a first-person shooter doesn't mean like it's every other first-person shooter. And it seems like everything has to be compared to Call of Duty, which I get, I guess, because it is one of the most popular shooters. But the level of customization, even the map layout, the way everything works, you know, Call of Duty, I think, rewards you, honestly, for camping. It rewards camping. It rewards hiding out behind a corner. It rewards you for going prone or whatever else a lot of times in the game. Or it can, depending on your play style. Titanfall, I feel like it rewards you for staying on the move. I feel like the maps are much more open. Call of Duty is much more compact, close pace. The firefights that you usually have are in very tight quarters, usually not over long distances. I mean, there's of course a couple of different places that doesn't necessarily play out like that, but for the most part, yes, it's close quarters. Whereas Titanfall, a lot more open, at least from what we've seen so far, and I think it has to be with the mechs and everything else going on. Last time I checked, Call of Duty didn't have parkour, it didn't have double jump, it didn't have the level of customization that this is happening, and especially whenever you add in the Titans and everything that goes on there, there is so much here that you will not find in a Call of Duty game. If you ask me, the game stands on its own, and if you walk away feeling like you just played Call of Duty, then I have to believe that you were just playing the game wrong and you were missing out. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's going to love this game. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm simply saying that the comparison between Call of Duty and Titanfall, I think, is non-existent, and it's mainly by people who probably haven't played the game. Now, as far as if you're going to enjoy the game, if you're going to like it, if you like first-person shooters, you know, I have no idea. You may actually hate and despise this game. It may be the worst game you've ever played. You may like Call of Duty and hate Titanfall. You may like both Call of Duty and Titanfall. You may hate them both. You may like Battlefield and hate both Call of Duty and Titanfall. I don't know. I don't care. But what I can tell you is that this idea that Titanfall is simply a Call of Duty with mechs, I think that's just a really super dumbed down way to look at it. If you want to talk to somebody who maybe isn't a gamer and doesn't understand you know, lingo like first-person shooter, and you're trying to explain to them what type of game it is, then yeah, maybe I could understand that. But as far as a gamer to gamer, people who understand the games and the differences between them, this game stands on its own. But the other kind of weird thing is that so far things have kind of been opposite for me whenever it comes to Titanfall, because in Call of Duty, I do like domination mode. I think that's one of the most fun game types you can play. Whereas in Titanfall, domination's probably my least favorite as far as the beta game modes go. In Call of Duty, Last Man Standing is a game mode that I absolutely despise. I hate that game mode. But in Titanfall, I actually really like Last Titan Standing. So to me, like, just the game types, with those two game types right there, completely opposite of one another between one game and another. But that's just me. I want to know, what do you think? Do you think Titanfall is just a Call of Duty clone with mechs? That does it for me, The Red Dragon. Be sure you subscribe if you're new here, and drop a like on your way out if you enjoyed this commentary. That does it for me, The Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.